2:14 local time. Ras Laffan Industrial City, State of Qatar. The sensor arrays at Qatar's Integrated Air Defense Operations Center don't alarm gradually. They detonate. At 2:14:07, the SHORAD radar network tracking the northeastern Gulf sector simultaneously picks up 34 inbound contacts, bearing 310 degrees, closing at Mach 2.8. Not drones, not cruise missiles, ballistic. Fateh 313 short-range ballistic missiles, Iranian-manufactured, GPS and inertial navigation hybrid guidance, CEP of under 10 meters. Launched from mobile TEL platforms dispersed across Khuzestan province specifically to deny pre-launch targeting. The duty officer at Ras Laffan has 4 minutes and 11 seconds before the first weapon arrives. He spends 9 seconds confirming the track data is real, the background you need. 18 hours earlier, Israeli Air Force F-35 Ayadir strike packages, 24 aircraft flying in coordinated packages out of Ramat David Air Base, had executed precision strikes against Iran's South Pars gas field in the Persian Gulf. South Pars is not simply an energy asset. It is the geological heartbeat of the Iranian economy. Shared with Qatar across the maritime border, where Doha calls it the North Dome Field, South Pars accounts for 40% of Iran's total natural gas production and 70% of its LNG export revenue. The IDF strike packages employed Spice 2000 precision glide bombs and Rampage supersonic air-to-surface missiles against compression stations, wellhead manifolds, and processing platforms 1 through 4. Simultaneously, U.S. CENTCOM assets, F/A-18E/F Super Hornets operating off USS Harry S. Truman in the Arabian Sea, struck the subsea pipeline junction nodes connecting South Pars to Asaluye Port using Mark 84 JDAMER extended-range guided munitions from 60,000 feet. The combined strike package was sequenced to detonate infrastructure in overlapping 90-second windows, preventing Iranian emergency crews from isolating fires. By 9 a.m. on March 19th, 3 of South Pars's processing platforms were burning, with fires visible from Bahrain. Iran's oil ministry declared force majeure. 13 workers were confirmed dead. At 11:47, the IRGC Aerospace Force Commander transmitted the response authorization. The weapon package. The 34 Fateh 313s were the vanguard, not the main effort. Simultaneously, IRGC naval forces in the Strait of Hormuz activated 67 Shahed 136 loitering munitions, pre-deployed on concealed fastboat platforms operating under commercial vessel cover since March 14th. Each Shahed 136 carries a 40-kilogram shaped charge warhead optimized for targeting thin-skinned industrial infrastructure, storage tanks, heat exchangers, LNG liquefaction trains. The loitering munitions flew nap-of-the-earth profiles at 185 kilometers per hour, programmed to attack from multiple azimuths simultaneously in 4 discrete waves, each wave separated by 6 minutes to complicate reload cycles for terminal defense systems. The Ras Laffan facility covers 106 square kilometers. It contains the liquefaction trains of Rosgas and Qatar Gas combined, representing 77 million tons per year of LNG export capacity, approximately 25% of total global LNG supply. The IRGC planners knew they couldn't destroy the entire facility. They didn't need to. They needed to destroy confidence that the facility could operate. 2:18. The first impact. Qatar's Patriot PAC-3 MSE batteries at Al Udeid Air Base engaged the inbound Fateh volley. The AN/MPQ-65 fire control radar acquires all 34 tracks. Launch authorization is automatic under ROE for confirmed ballistic threats. 31 interceptors launch in a 47-second ripple fire sequence. Terminal intercept probability against short-range ballistic missiles in optimal conditions is 85 to 90%. Tonight, conditions are not optimal. The IRGC has accompanied the Fateh volley with a 12-missile salvo of Imad medium-range ballistic missiles launched from Semnan province. The Imads carry maneuvering re-entry vehicles, post-apogee course corrections that defeat predictive intercept geometry. Qatar's Patriot batteries, designed to handle one threat class simultaneously, are processing two. The engagement geometry fractures. Three Fateh 313s punch through. The first impacts LNG Train 7 of the Qatar Gas South facility at 2:19:44. The 40-megaton hydrocarbon vapor cloud ignition creates a fireball visible 180 kilometers away. The second detonates against the condensate storage complex, rupturing four 50,000-barrel tanks. The third hits the seawater intake manifold that cools liquefaction equipment for the entire northern processing zone. At 2:20:11, before Qatar's emergency response teams have even moved, the first wave of Shahed 136 drones crosses the perimeter fence. The swarm. They come from four vectors simultaneously. CIWS systems at the facility perimeter, three Phalanx Block 1B mounts, repositioned from U.S. naval assets 72 hours earlier, activate and engage in autonomous mode. Each Phalanx fires 20mm depleted uranium rounds at 4,500 rounds per minute. The engagement envelopes overlap by design. In the first 90 seconds, 22 Shahed 136s are destroyed. The debris of the destroyed drones, still carrying residual fuel loads, falls onto the facility grounds and initiates 7 secondary fires. 6 more Shahed 136s reach their programmed targets. The second wave arrives 6 minutes later. Qatar's CIWS barrels are at 60% ammunition capacity. The third wave arrives at 02:32. Barrel temperature is critical. By 2:47, Ras Laffan's LNG Train 4, Train 7, and the condensate export terminal are burning simultaneously. The strategic mathematics. The Strait of Hormuz has been functionally closed since March 3rd. Iranian fast attack craft and mine-laying operations have made insurance underwriters unwilling to cover tanker transits. Global LNG spot prices, already at $47 per million BTU, a 340% increase from pre-war levels, spiked to $71 within 90 minutes of the Ras Laffan strike, making international news wires. Japan's LNG import-dependent economy enters emergency conservation protocol. South Korea activates strategic reserves. Spain's prime minister freezes domestic energy prices by executive decree. The economic blast radius of 4 burning LNG trains in Qatar is measurable in GDP points across a dozen nations. This was calculated. The IRGC didn't strike Ras Laffan to destroy Qatar's energy sector. They struck it to demonstrate that no energy infrastructure in the Gulf is beyond reach, to impose a cost on every government sheltering U.S. military assets, and to accelerate the global economic pressure that might force Washington to the negotiating table faster than Iranian missiles can. 2:58. The response authorization. U.S. CENTCOM commander transmits strike package authorization to Fifth Fleet assets. 3 Arleigh Burke-class destroyers in the Gulf of Oman, USS Mason, USS Roosevelt, and USS Bulkley, launched Tomahawk Block 5 cruise missiles on pre-programmed strike packages against IRGC aerospace force launch sites in Khuzestan. Simultaneously, 2 B-2 Spirit bombers that departed Whiteman Air Force Base 14 hours earlier and have been orbiting in classified airspace over the Arabian Sea receive updated targeting data via satellite data link. Their payload? 16 GBU-57A/B massive ordnance penetrators per aircraft. The IRGC launch sites are hardened. The GBU-57 was built specifically for this class of target. At 3:04, the B-2s enter their release windows. The morning after. By first light on March 20th, the new Supreme Leader Mujtaba Khamenei issues a statement read on Iranian state television. No video, no audio, just text scrolling across the screen. He calls the attacks on Ras Laffan a response to American Zionist crimes against Iranian sovereignty. He does not mention South Pars. He marks Nowruz, the Persian New Year. He says Iran will celebrate this new year with its dignity intact. 1,400 kilometers away, in the ruins of LNG Train 7, Qatari firefighters are still battling a blaze that will burn for 9 more days. The Strait of Hormuz carries 21% of global oil trade. The North Dome field produces 25% of global LNG supply. Both are now effectively offline. The world is not watching a war between the United States, Israel, and Iran. It is watching the controlled demolition of the global energy system, detonated block by block, pipeline by pipeline, trade route by trade route, by a country with nothing left to lose and every reason to make the pain mutual. The question is no longer whether Iran can survive this war. The question is whether the global economy can survive Iran's answer to it. Subscribe and share. This story is not close to over.